Welcome to the data overview of Soap Creek Elementary in Cobb County. My name is Catherine Love. So the purpose of this data review is to look at Soap Creek's demographics and academic achievement data for the last 3 years. The intended audience is for the school's administration and the improvement teams. I hope by analyzing this data, we can identify trends and focus on any areas of academics that could need improvement. Some questions to guide our analysis is: what are we doing well? What can we do to amplify success? How will we know? And what kind of school do we ultimately want to be? So this data review is going to look at school demographics, 3rd through 5th grade Georgia ELA milestones data, 3rd through 5th grade Georgia milestones math data, and strengths and weaknesses. So Soap Creek's demographics. Soap Creek was founded in 1978, has about 80 teachers that teaches from grades kindergarten through 5th grade. Soap Creek staff is predominantly female, with an average of 15 years of experience for teachers. Our staff population is mostly white, with teachers having either a 4-year bachelor's or 5-year master's degree, with some having their specialist degree. Soap Creek student demographics. We can see over 3 years, Soap Creek continues to increase in student enrollment. What trends do we notice? There is an obvious increase at Soap Creek. We are a max capacity school, which means we cannot be a school choice school. Some student demographics. We are nearly half and half of female and male students. For our demographics, our student population is predominantly white, with about a third is Asian. Our subgroups demographics, about 10% are students with disabilities, where we have about 5% of students who are eligible for free reduced lunches, and again, 5% for limited English proficiency. So now let's look at the state of Georgia milestones data. It should be noted that these are averages for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students. Visually from the graph, you'll notice that state of Georgia, most students are performing in the developing or proficient learners percentages. On the right, you'll see in that table, those are averages, where on the bottom, I do want to point out that on average, in the state of Georgia, about 27% of students are not meeting proficiency in ELA, and about 28 students are not meeting proficiency in math. Now let's look at Cobb County's Georgia milestones data. Let's begin by looking at 3rd grade in Cobb County. You can see based on the graph, there are more varying percentages for each level of proficiency. In Cobb County, most learners are in the developing and proficient learners for 3rd grade. On the right, you'll notice that in ELA, nearly 54% of 3rd graders are not meeting proficiency, where about 52% of 3rd graders in Cobb County are not proficient in math. In Cobb County 4th graders, you'll notice there's more an increase in the developing and proficient learners instead of more in the beginning learners areas. But again, in Cobb County, 4th graders are about 54% who do not meet proficiency in ELA, and about 50% of 4th graders in Cobb County do not meet proficiency in math. Let's look at 5th grade in Cobb County. In 5th grade, you'll notice there is an increase in learners who are proficient for English and ELA, but in math, most 5th graders in Cobb County do not meet proficiency. Now let's go even smaller and look at Soap Creek's 3rd grade milestones data. Right off the bat, you'll notice from the graph that most students are in the proficient and distinguished learners area. From the table, you'll notice that the lowest area is beginning learners at 3rd grade. Below, you'll see that 22% of students still are not meeting proficiency in ELA, where about 18% of students in 3rd grade are not meeting proficiency in math. If we look at Soap Creek's 4th grade Georgia milestones data, you'll notice an even more growth in the proficient and distinguished learner ranges. If you look below the table, you'll see that only about 10% of fourth graders are not meeting proficiency in ELA, and about 7% of fourth graders at Soap Creek do not meet proficiency in math. If we move to look at Soap Creek's fifth grade Georgia Milestones data, you'll notice that over a few years, the distinguished learners have really increased. However, will notice from 2020, there were more developing learners compared to 2023. You'll notice that about 8% of students in fifth grade at Soap Creek do not meet proficiency in ELA or math. So let's look at the state, district, and Soap Creek students who are not meeting proficiency. We should start by asking, how do our students perform in comparison to students at the state and district levels? Well, at the state, nearly 27% of third through fifth graders do not meet proficiency in ELA and math. However, in the county, that percentage is nearly doubled for third, fourth, and fifth graders. In Cobb County, nearly half of all third, fourth, and fifth graders are not meeting proficiency in ELA or math. However, at Soap Creek, third graders are 22% and 18% are not meeting proficiency. Whereas fourth and fifth graders, that's nearly half for ELA and math. So let's go back to our questions to guide this analysis. What are we doing well? What can we do to amplify success? How will we know? And what kind of school do we want to be? Let's look at our school strategic plan. There are 5 total goals on our school strategic plan, but for the purpose of this data view, we're going to look at goals 2 and 4. You'll see in red there that for third through fifth graders in the domain of vocabulary and usage, our goal is to increase the mean score by 5% on the Georgia Milestones. Goal 4, third and through fourth graders will increase proficiency in the domain of geometry by increasing their mean score by 5% on the Georgia Milestones, where in fifth grade, our goal is to increase proficiency in the domain of measurement and data by increasing their mean score by 5% on the Georgia Milestones. So let's look at some strengths and areas of weakness. Soap Creek students in grades 4th and 5th grade better perform than 3rd grade. This means that as students move through grades at Soap Creek, that they are improving and growing in the areas of ELA. Compared to the district milestones, Soap Creek is performing in the proficient and the distinguished learners areas at nearly the same percentage as the county is performing in the beginning and developing learners. For areas of weakness, in both ELA and math, nearly 20% of Soap Creek third graders are not meeting proficiency on the Georgia Milestones. Another area of weakness, there is a steady trend among all grades at Soap Creek. However, there's not much growth between the beginning and developing learners moving to the proficient and distinguished learners over 3 years. Those percentages remain nearly the same over time. So what should we do? Some next steps. Currently, 3rd through 5th grade teachers implement vocabulary and usage strategies learned from the Writing Revolution intervention. This happens during their daily advanced word study and vocabulary instruction during our 2-hour ELA block. This supports our school's strategic plan. We should continue implementing our school's current initiatives by implementing that 4th grade morphology instruction and continue to provide our 4th grade teachers the professional learning intervention. Next steps. Soap Creek should consider the U-Fly intervention that is used through kindergarten and 2nd grades for those 3rd grade teachers to support those 3rd graders in levels of proficiency. So finally, what surprised you about the data? What can we amplify? How can we amplify our success? What other professional development opportunities should be offered? And what other supports can we provide to students who are not meeting proficiency? Thank you.